SLT Fibre and experience the power of fibre technology. Sri Lanka's only super fast internet connection. SLT Fibre. Call 1212 now.
Tonight, Cardinal's ultimatum. Integrity of Easter attack probes questioned. It's not over. The Army commander says the terror threat isn't over during his second appearance before the PSC. It's an oversight. The leader of the House accepts AG made a mistake with Zahran file. This Wednesday, the 31st of July, 2019.
From AdaDerana. This is AdaDerana First at 9.
මුහුණ සති කීපයකට කලින් ෆෑර් ඇන්ඩ් ලව්ලි මෙන් ගෑවට පස්සේ මාක්ස් අඩු වෙලා ෆෑනස් වැඩි වෙලා.
මාක්ස් අඩු කරලා ඔයාගේ ෆෑනස් ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එක වැඩි කරගන්න. ෆෑර් ඇන්ඩ් ලව්ලි මෙන් ඇන්ටි මාක්ස් ක්‍රීම්.
Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to First at 9. I'm Dhammika Kanaga. Let's start with your local stories. Commander of the Sri Lanka Army, Lieutenant General Mahesh Senanayake, reiterates his view that the terror threat in Sri Lanka following the Easter Sunday attacks still lingers. The Army commander expressed these views today during his second appearance before the Parliamentary Select Committee probing Easter Sunday attacks. His statement even stirred up an argument between two members of the committee.
ඔබතුමා එදා කිව්වා කිසිදු අවස්ථාවක සියලු දේවල් අවසන් 100ක් මේ අවසන් කියලා කියන්න බෑ කියලා. දැන් කියපු එක ඔප්පු වෙලා තියෙනවා ඔබතුමා එදා ගිහිල්ලා අද ආපු මේ කාලය ඇතුළත. හත් අට දෙනෙක්ව මම හිතන්නේ ඒ කාලය ඇතුළතත් අත්තරම් කරගත්තා. නමුත් සමහරු විශේෂයෙන්ම දේශපාලනඥයෝ මේක ඉවරයි සියල්ල සම්පූර්ණයි කියනවා. ඊළඟට
ෆිල්ඩ් මාර්ෂල් සරත් ෆොන්සේකා මහතාගේ මතය.
ඔබතුමාගේ මතය සියල්ල ඉවරයි නැහැ කියලාද?
මගෙන් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න බෑ ෆිල්ඩ් මාර්ෂල් මැතිතුමා.
එතන වාදේ ඔබතුමාට දෙන්නම
මගෙන් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න බෑ.
සුමන්දිර
මෙතන කතා කරන්නේ සියලුම දේ ඒ අයගේ මත තමයි. මේ කවිතුවේ මතය කියලා මම කිව්වෙත් නෑ.
මම හිතන්නේ ප්‍රශ්නේ මතුනේ ඔබතුමා
මතය කියලා කියපු නිසා මම කිව්වා.
පැහැදිලි කරුවා. හරි.
එතකොට දැනගෙන හිටපු දේවල් ගැන යම් පියවර ගත යුතුයිනේ. පියවරක් ගන්න යම් කිසි උපදේශයක් කොහෙන් හරි ආවද?
ඒ අවස්ථාවේදීත් අපි මේ මුස්ලිම් අන්තවාදය
Even by then, except for the Defence Ministry, we had informed about the Muslim extremist activities to the National Intelligence Chief, National Intelligence Director and IGP. I even suggested that arrests be made because at the time the army didn't have the power to act on law and order. But I have the necessary powers under emergency laws. Several suspects have absconded and we continue our investigations. It is only now that I see the army and the police working under one ministry as they were under different ministries before.
ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේක අමාත්‍යාංශ දෙකක් යට තිබ්බේ.
රාජ්‍ය බුද්ධි සේවයේ ප්‍රධානියා සහ හමුදාපතිවරයා අතර තියෙන සම්බන්ධය මොන වගේ එකක්ද?
වෘත්තීය වශයෙන් බොහොම ළඟින් ආශ්‍රය කරලා ඒ සම්බන්ධතාවයක් තියෙනවා. යුද හමුදාවත් එක්ක එහෙම ගැටලුවක් තිබෙන්නේ නැහැ. අධ්‍යක්ෂකතුමාගේ
හේමසිරි ප්‍රනාන්දු මහත්මයා මෙන්න මෙහෙම කියනවා. යුද හමුදාපතිතුමා මට දෙවරක්ම කිව්වා සර් මේ ගැන මොකක් හරි කරන්න. මොකද අපිව පැත්තකට දමලා තිබෙන්නේ. අපි මේ ගැන අහනවාටත් රාජ්‍ය බුද්ධ්‍යංශය කැමති නැහැ කියලා.
මම දැන් තමයි එතුමාගේ ඒ සාක්ෂිය දැනගන්නේ. රාජ්‍ය බුද්ධ්‍යංශය කියන එක නෙමෙයි මම එතන මේ යුත්තේ කියන මගේ අදහස. මේ ගැටලුව පැවතුනේ තත්ත්ව විමර්ශන කොට්ටාසි සමග.
ඔබතුමාට වාර්තා වෙලා තියෙනවාද රාජ්‍ය බුද්ධි සේවය විසින් 20 වෙනිදා හවස හෝ 21 උදේ ඔබතුමාට හෝ හමුදා බුද්ධි ප්‍රධානියාට අර ලැබිච්ච තොරතුරු වාර්තා වුණා කියලා.
මම මේ ගැන ඇතුලේ පරීක්ෂණයක් පැහැදිලිව සිදු කරා මේ සිද්ධියෙන් පස්සේ මට වගකීමක් තියෙන එක දැනගන්න හමුදාව තුල කවුරු හරි දැනන් හිටියද කියලා. බුද්ධි අධ්‍යක්ෂක නෙමෙයි වෙන නිලධාරියෙක් හරි දැනගෙන හිටියා නම් ඔව් මාව දැනුවත් කළ යුතුයි. මේක රටේ අපේ වගකීමක්. ඒක සිදු වෙලා නැහැ.
අප්‍රේල් 21 වෙනිදාට ඉස්සරට සමීප කාලය තුර ප්‍රශ්නයක් තිබුණේ නැහැ.
එතන තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ තිබ්බේ.
ඒ කියන්නේ
සිද්ධිය ඉස්සෙල්ලා පසුගිය කාලතික මාහ තුලදී යුද හමුදාවේ බුද්ධ්‍යංශය ඇවලුම් යම් කිසි ප්‍රමාණයක් අත්තරම් ගැනීමක් සිදු වුණා. යම් වෙච්ච සිද්ධි මාලාවකට. ඒ තුලදී යුද හමුදාවේ බුද්ධ්‍යංශ සමග යම් කිසි මිස්ට්‍රස් එකක් කියන එකක් පැහැදිලිවම ඇති වෙනවා. ඒ මාර්ගයෙන් තමයි එම නායකත්වයේ සමග අපේ ගැටලු පැන නැගෙන්නේ.
ඔබතුමා කිව්වා අර අමාත්‍යාංශ දෙකකට කියන්නේ law and order defense වෙනම තිබුණු කාලේ වෙනම තිබෙනකොට වගේ නෙවෙයි එක අමාත්‍යාංශයක යටතේ තියෙනකොට කියලා. මොකද අමාත්‍යාංශ දෙකක තියා ගන්නවද කියන එක දේශපාලන තීරණයක්නේ. මොකද ඒක අතර සම්බන්ධීකරණයක් තියා ගැනීම අමාරුකමක් නෑ නේ විශේෂයෙන්ම එකම ඇමතිවරයා යටතේ තියෙන.
මම දකින්නේ ප්‍රායෝගිකව වෙනම අමාත්‍යාංශ දෙක කටයුතු කිරීමේදී මට උන සිදු වෙනවා ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යාංශය හරහා යන්න. ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යාංශය යට තියෙන අනුබද්ධිත ආයතනයක් වුණාම මට ඒ පාලම ලං වෙනවා.
මේ ගැන ඔබතුමාලා හමුදා බුද්ධ්‍යංශය හැටියටවත් ආරක්ෂක ඇමතිවරයාව වෙනත් ආකාරයකින් හරි දැනුවත් කරාද?
ආරක්ෂක කවුන්සිල් තුළ මේ ගැන සාකච්ඡා කරන බව ඇත්ත. අපි
මේ කියන්නේ මේ සහරාන්ලා සිද්ධ ගැන කෙලින්ම සාකච්ඡා කරා.
කතා කරලා තියෙනවා. එතනදී ආරක්ෂක ඇමතිවරයා ඉන්න පුද්ගලයා ආරක්ෂක රාජ්‍ය ආරක්ෂක ඇමතුමා මේ ගැන අපිට කියනවා මේ ගැන ක්‍රියා කරන්න කියලා. මම දැනගන්න ඕනේ නීතිරාමෝ තුල මට කරන්න තියෙන රාජකාරිය මොකක්ද කියලා. ඒ මුලසුනින් එක්කෙනාට කියන්න බෑ. මෙයාව හිට අත්තරංගුවට ගන්න. අනිද්දා මෙයාව ස්වාමීට දාන්න. මේකට නීති පද්ධතිය මේකයි. ඒක දැනගන්න ඕනේ අපි.
නමුත් අප්‍රේල් 21 සිද්ධිය වෙනකොට නීති හා සාමය ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යාංශ එකට තියෙන්නේ.
එකට තියෙන්නේ.
වගකීම කිසි කෙනෙකුට බැහැර යන්න බෑ. මෙහෙම උනේ ඇයි? ඔබතුමාගේ ඇසෙස්මන්ට් එක අනුව.
දැන් ඔබතුමාලා මෙතනදී පැහැදිලි කළා මේක ඔක්තෝබර් මාස 2010 ඔක්තෝබර් මාසයෙන් පස්සේ තමයි මේ අමාත්‍යාංශ දෙක එකට ගේන්නේ කියලා. ඒට ඉස්සෙල්ලා තමයි මේක කතා කරලා තින්නේ. වැඩිපුර 2017 තමයි මේක කතා කරනවා. ඒතර ඒවට ඇක්ෂන් ගත්තේ නැහැ එහෙමනම්.
අමාත්‍යාංශ දෙකක් තිබුණාට ආරක්ෂක කවුන්සිලේදී ඔක්කොම ඉන්නවා. ඒතකොට එතෙන්දී එකතු වෙලා වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්.
පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන. ඒ වගේම සහභාගී වුණා ඒක ඉවරකම් ඉන්නත් ඕන.
සමහරු කලින් යනවා කියන එකද ඔබතුමා කියන්නේ?
පැහැදිලිද?
මම කියන්න කැමති නැද්ද?
ඔබතුමා කියන්න.
ආරක්ෂක කවුන්සිලයට සහභාගී වෙන අයට ජාතික ආරක්ෂාවටත් වඩා වැදගත් දේවල් තියෙනවද එහෙම නැකිලා යන්න?
මේක තමයි ගැටලුව.
දැන් වර්තමානයේ තියෙන ආරක්ෂක කවුන්සිල් වලට තාම විපක්ෂයේ മന്ത്രിවරු වෙනවද?
මෑතකදී උනේ නැහැ. ඒ
සිද්ධියෙන්
පස්සේ සම්පූර්ණ ආරක්ෂක මණ්ඩලය පටන් ගන්නට ඉස්සෙල්ලා දිනකදී කාඩිනල්තුමත් පැමිණියා.
එවැනි
after coming to that meeting only he said there are no people with backbones.
That is quite late.
Yeah.
But I'm referring to
no, processed all that information and he came out with that.
then ඉස්සෙල්ලා
17 ජෙනරල් ලාල් පෙරේරා සහරාන්ව ගෙන්නලා වෝන් කරලා තියෙනවා. සහරාගේ ක්‍රියාකලාපය ගැන. ඒවා ගැන මොනවද සටහන් වෙලා තිබුණත් දන්නේ ලිඛිතව කොහේ හරි.
සොයා බලලා උත්තර දෙන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් මම දන්නවා අවුරු සමග අපි කතා බහ කරපු බවක් මම දන්නවා.
Now, in the meantime, former Defence Secretary Kapila Vaidyaratne also appeared before the Parliamentary Select Committee today. He was predominantly questioned on Security Council proceedings during his tenure. On the 23rd of October, IGP Pujit Jasundra spoke to me. The President said that the Security Council meeting will be held that day and to summon everybody except the IGP. Until then, since July of 2017, the IGP had attended Security Council meetings. It was only for that particular meeting that the IGP was not summoned. The next meeting was on the 13th of November, during which I saw the participation of the IGP.
පොලිස් පත්තුමා සහභාගී වුණයි කියලා මම දැක්කා.
ඒ වගේ එම රැස්වීමට පමණක්.
එපමණයි. ඊට පස්සේ තිබ්බ රැස්වීමේ පොලිස් පත්තුමාට දැනුම් දෙන්න පුළුවන් නැත්නම් මොකද ඇටෙන්ඩන්ස් ෂීට් එකක්වත් නැහැ. නමුත් එතුමා මම දැක්ක එතුමාගේම සාක්කිය කියනවා නොවැම්බර් මාසේ 13 වෙනිදා ඊට පස්සේ බාරගත්ත ලේකම් හෙමිසිරි ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ මහත්මයාගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් තිබ්බ මීටිමට ආවයි කියලා.
ඔක්තෝබර් 30 දක්වා පැවැත්වුණු ජාතික ආරක්ෂක කවුන්සිල් වලට අගමැතිවරයා දිගටම සම්බන්ධ වුණාද?
හැම කවුන්සිල් මීටිමකටම එන්න කියලා ආරාධනා කරා. එතුමට දැනුම් දුන්නා. බොහොමයකට ආවයි කියලා මම හිතන්නේ ඒක බැලුවොත් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන්.
SIA ඩිරෙක්ටර් කොයි වෙලාවකවත් ජනාධිපතිට කෙලින්ම කතා කරේ නැද්ද?
ඒ කියන්නේ සිද්ධීන් සම්බන්ධයෙන් නෑ. මම හිතනවා SIS ඩිරෙක්ටර් ඉස්සෙල්ලා මාව දැනුවත් කරලා තමයි ජනාධිපතිතුමා දැනුවත් කරන්නේ.
Head of the Catholic Church in Sri Lanka, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit emphasises that he will not meet any presidential candidate if a transparent report is not produced on the Easter Sunday attacks. Speaking at a media briefing held in Colombo today, the Archbishop of Colombo added that investigations on the Easter Sunday attacks as well as probes on certain incidents in the past are far from satisfactory. None of the suspects of the Easter Sunday attack is brought before the law or punished yet by a commission consisting of independent members. Therefore, I insist that a transparent commission be appointed and reveal the truth behind these attacks to the public. I emphasize that the governing party, the opposition and other political parties in this country not to sweep this incident under the carpet, which reduced the country to suffering as done by previous governments. We didn't see any reports on the Ratupaswal incident or the incident of Roshan Chanaka. We are suspicious whether this incident will share the same fate. I like to inform that I will not meet any presidential candidate from the governing party, the opposition or any other party who fail to meet these requests we make. They don't have to come to me either.
ඒ මුස්ලිම් ඇමතිවරුන්ගෙන්ම අහන්න ඕනේ ඒකට උත්තරේ. මොකද අපි දන්නේ නැහැනේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇයි ඉල්ලාසුනේ කියලා. මම ජනාධිපතිතුමාටයි කියලයි අගමැතිතුමාටයි කියලයි එහෙම කිව්වේ නෑ මගේ දේශනේදී. මම කිව්වේ
I did not particularly mention the President and the Prime Minister. What I meant was to be strong in decision making. What am I to do for him accepting it?
ඉතින් ඒක එතුමා ඒක මේ පිළිගත්තා නම් ඉතින් මම මොනව කරන්නද? මේ පල්ලිය තුල මිනිස්යාගේ
In the church, we should speak up for issues of human beings. I spoke about what he's done wrong.
ඔළුවට දාගත්තට මට කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඒ පැමිණිලි වලින් වැඩක් නැහැ. ඒ පැමිණිලි කළා කියලා මාව දුර්වල කරන්න බෑ.
The fundamental rights petition filed by Inspector General of Police Pujit Jayasundara against being sent on compulsory leave has been fixed for support on the 17th of September. The FR petition was taken up before the Supreme Court judge bench consisting of Justices LTB Dehidenia and S. Thurayraja today. As the petition has been considered before a three-member judge bench, the Supreme Court justices ordered it to be taken up again on the 17th of September. The police chief appeared before court when the petition was taken up this morning. Inspector General of Police Pujit Jayasundara was handed compulsory leave on the 29th of April over investigations on the Easter attacks. The Cabinet of Ministers has given the nod to the proposal to amend some of the terms and words in the Penal Code. The amendment bill was drafted by the legal draftsman, was presented to the Cabinet by Minister of Justice and Prison Reforms Talatatu Gorala. The Cabinet expects to consequently get the approval of the Parliament for these amendments to the Penal Code. Now, President Maithripala alleges that those who neglected their duties leading to the Easter Sunday attacks are now trying to put the blame on him. He was speaking at the National Conference on Peace, Harmony and Coexistence in Colombo yesterday. Meanwhile, General Secretary of the Muslim World League, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Abdul Karim Alissa, who was the special guest of the event, met with Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe today. Secretary General of the Muslim World League, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Abdul Karim Alissa, met with Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at Temple Trees this morning. It is reported that he pledged $5 million towards providing relief for the victims of Easter Sunday attacks. In the meantime, President Maithripala Sirisena and other religious leaders addressed the National Conference on Peace, Harmony and Coexistence, which was held at the Nilumpokana Theatre in Colombo last evening. Secretary General of the Muslim World League, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Abdul Karim Alissa, was a special guest at the event.
මේ රට බෞද්ධ රටක් කියන එක අපි මුළු ලෝකයාටම කියන්නට ලෑස්ති. මාවනැල්ල සිද්ධියේදී
We felt as if we took a hit when a group vandalized the statues of Lord Buddha in Mavanella. But our chief prelates did not provoke people. This country is such a beautiful country. There would have been a bloodbath in this country had it not been for the words of the Cardinal.
Our Muslim friends are trying to be separated, demanding for separate law and order system, uniform and dress code, separate education, separate schools, separate universities, separate and separate. Why we can't be united? Why we can't share our own facility together?
සෑම අංශයකම අන්තවාදීන් සිටිනවා. මෙවැනි ත්‍රස්තවාදී සංවිධානයක්
There are extremists in every sector. No country has eradicated such a terrorist organization in 3 weeks or a month. But we could do that with my directives. We could have avoided this incident had the responsible officials taken measures and informed me of the information they had. But eventually, even I was made a culprit and baseless accusations were leveled against me saying that I knew of the attacks in advance. There were such officials in this country who stooped to that level. I'm ready to give a helping hand to whoever brings peace, since it is my responsibility.
ඒ ඕනෑම කෙනෙකුට මම අත දෙනවා ඒක මගේ වගකීමක් සහ යුතුයකමක්.
Now, in other stories, UPFA parliamentarian Vimal Veeravansa today revealed in Parliament that the government allowed 2 members of the FBI and 2 officials of the US Embassy in Colombo access to Muslim suspects detained at the Navy camp in Valisara. He was speaking during the debate on extending the state of emergency by 1 more month. 42 MPs voted in favour of the motion, while only 2 members voted against it, with the Tamil National Alliance abstaining. I would like to make a special request that a special security plan be put in place for the Asala procession in Kandy. This place is an easy target for terrorists. People from all over the country come to Kandy to watch the procession, and it's being held for over a century, and we cannot refrain from holding it. We hear rumours that there could be an issue on the day. I hope to drive the attention of the State Minister of Defence as well as the government on the matter.
දැන් නීතිපතියක හැම කෙනාටම නඩු දානවා. දැන් නීතිපතියක කරන වැරදිවට මොකද කරන්නේ? ඒක බරපතල අතපසුවියක් මම පිළිගන්නවා ඒක. දැන් ඒකට අදාළව ගන්න නීතිමය ක්‍රියාමාර්ගය මොකක්ද? ආණ්ඩුව පැත්ත. මම ගරු අග්‍රාමාත්‍ය
I will inform the Prime Minister about the matter. The other thing is that a case was filed in Katankuri against Zahran in 2017. The chief of the TID was chasing Zahran when he was stopped over a VIP assassination case. All investigations were halted because of it.
ඒ ප්‍රශ්නේ නිසා මේ පරීක්ෂණ කටයුතු සියල්ලම අද සභාපතිතුමනි
This is wrong. It is true that the head of the TID was arrested over the Maithripala Rajapaksa drama. But did you close the TID afterwards? He was arrested after the political coup in October 2018. The reminder was sent in June 2018 and Nalaka de Silva was still in office.
එතකොට නාලක සිල්ල මහත්තයා හිටියානේ මම සිදු වෙලා තියෙන ප්‍රමාද දෝෂය මම පිළිගන්නවා මම නෑ කියන්නේ ඒකට දාලා ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ගන්න රහස් පොලිසිය ත්‍රස්ත විමර්ශන කොට
A member of the TID said before the Parliamentary Select Committee that the Attorney General's Department was informed on Zahran 1.5 years before the attack. Now, who did this? It was M.H.M. Nawawi who contested in general elections from the UNP from the Putlam district. He represented Rishad Badiuddin's faction in the UNP. And who is Deputy Solicitor General Asad Nawawi, who kept this document for 1.5 years? It is former parliamentarian M.H.M. Nawawi's son. Is this a coincidence? The Muslim suspects who were arrested by the TID are kept in the Navy camp in Valisara. 2 officials of the FBI arrived at the camp on the 29th of July this year at 9:30 in the morning. They wanted to meet the Muslim suspects. When the Navy didn't allow them access, a top official of the TID receives a phone call from above asking him to give them access. 2 officials from the US Embassy called Aruna and Sanjay Mailwanam, 2 accompanied them. Sanjay is the translator. Only these 4 were allowed there and everyone else had to leave. They recorded evidence from these suspects for more than 2 hours. What was there to be questioned by these characters?
FBI එකේ නිලධාරීනුයි ඇමරිකන් තානාපති කාර්යාලයෙන් ආපු දෙන්නයි විතරක් ඉඳගෙන මොනවද ප්‍රශ්න කරන්න තියෙන්නේ?
A member of the Sri Lankan Air Force who was deployed at the official residence of the Swiss ambassador to Sri Lanka used his firearm on himself this afternoon. He later succumbed to his wounds after being admitted to the Colombo National Hospital. It's being reported that the deceased is a 21-year-old from Gampula. Renowned Sri Lankan contemporary poet and fiction writer Jean Arasanagam passed away at the age of 88 yesterday. She was residing in Kandy at the time. Born into a family of Dutch burghers in 1931, she obtained Master of Letters in Literary Linguistics from a university in Glasgow. She contributed immensely to English poetry in Sri Lanka with her publications The Life of a Poet and Apocalypse 83 and The Cry of the Kite. She wrote more on the civil conflicts in Sri Lanka, gender discrepancies, post-colonialism and personal relationships and experiences. Arasanagam is the author of 50 books and she was given the National Award for Literature in 1984 and bagged the Gresham Prize in 2017 for the life of the poet. Many of her works were translated into various languages including Danish, Swedish, French and Japanese. The late poet is also accredited with a Premchand Fellowship of Satya Academy of India for the year 2014. The final rites of late Jean Arasanagam are scheduled for Friday. We got more news on the other side of this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching First at 9. Now, today the government announced plans to introduce free visa on arrival for tourists from nearly 50 countries as part of its efforts to revive the country's tourism sector following the Easter Sunday attacks. A media briefing was held at Templetree this morning to introduce the scheme with the participation of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, Subject Minister John Amaratunga, chiefs of tourism promotion and development boards as well as industry representatives.
In the month of August and September, we will be holding all traditional festivals. The Dalada Perahara in Kandy, there are a number of other Buddhist Peraharas. Secondly, a number of Hindu festivals where the whale chariot is taken in Jaffna and in Colombo. And thirdly, the three main festivals of the Catholic Church. So we are taking all security precautions. Sri Lanka is on its way back to normals. We are also now focusing on the revival of tourism. As you know, many measures have been taken. The visas have been, requirements have been lifted. We are in the process of granting moratorium to our members who are involved in the tourist industry. We have now taken steps to reduce the ground handling charges and the fuel charges at the Colombo airport. All these measures are coming in, which should make it easier, certainly more profitable for airlines to come in. In the last months, we have not dropped off anyone's register of good places to visit. If at all, our ratings have improved.
Inflation is losing about 4.3 billion for 6 months due to this visa. How will the government compensate them? But how will the government compensate them? Due to the visa issue, about 4.3 billion is being lost.
Well, it will be compensated by the fact that additional tourists are coming in. And firstly, remember that there has been a big drop in the government revenue. When more tourists come in, the economy will pick up. And so whatever you lose on that, you can make up on the revenue. And secondly, as the numbers increase, that gets looked after.
Meanwhile, Minister of Tourism Development John Amaratunga revealed more about the free visa on arrival system that will be in place for nearly 50 countries.
We can always revise this list and include any other countries that if you can inform us. These are countries that have requested when we started this process. So we are, for the moment we have had this list, I can also...
We are losing, I think, nearly 1.5 billion rupees. But I think now the tourist arrivals are coming up. With that, I think we can regain that. But according to this program, after this program, now we have no income through this tourist visa. Therefore, I think 4.3 billion in rupees we will lose income in this year.
Last year, what we feel is that by this, if the tourist numbers goes up, we will be able to go all above all what the losses that you are talking of. This is be valid for 6 months. We are trying to assess and see how beneficial this is going to be.
The Ministry of Finance warns the general public of a fraudulent scheme that has exploited the ministry's letterhead to send letters to applicants of Enterprise Sri Lanka loan scheme. Issuing a media communique today, the Finance Ministry stated that the letters sent by the scammers have demanded the applicants to pay a certain percentage of the total amount expected from the loan as a basic advance in order to release the full loan amount. The ministry already possesses evidence of a group including an individual named Jampati Karunamuni posing as Director of the Clearance Unit of Loans at the Development Finance Department of the Ministry of Finance and another individual posing as Chandra Jayasinghe sending these fraudulent letters. The ministry informs that there is no such division in the Ministry of Finance. Under the Enterprise Sri Lanka loan scheme, only the registration process of loan applications is conducted by the ministry. The ministry neither releases loans nor make recommendations for any expectants. The ministry also reiterates that it does not charge any money for its role in this regard. The ministry urges the applicants that if any group or individual demands money claiming that your loan has been approved, they must notify the nearest police station immediately. Now, each passing day, there seems to be media reports alleging that the United States is set to own land in Sri Lanka by exercising the compact of the Millennium Challenge Corporation. This has left US Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Elena Bittaplis, continually having to deny these unsubstantiated rumours, and yesterday wasn't any different. At the Sri Lanka USA Business Council annual general meeting, the ambassador insisted that her country will not control any land in Sri Lanka under the proposed deal. Addressing the same event, Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Ravinath Arisinghe meanwhile divulged that Sri Lanka sought US assistance in gaining greater market share during the recent joint council meeting under the USA-Sri Lanka Trade and Investment Framework Agreement.
Did also try to emphasize the need for US help also in trying to enable us to capture a greater share of the US market as well as to bring US investors more to Sri Lanka. Now that we have leveled the playing field to a degree in Sri Lanka, some of the barriers which exist, which are not deliberately placed but influence businesses coming to our country. And here I refer to the fact that still somebody coming from the Western region, our OECD ranking, credit rating is very low. It's 6 out of 7. Not something which is justified given the present conditions in the country. We have been in conversations in trying to minimize this so that then it will strengthen the business connection and facilitate two-way trade, and particularly give the credibility of Sri Lanka within markets. We in the Foreign Ministry have in this process tried through economic diplomacy program to help the SMEs in particular try to reach out in the US market. Another important aspect I think is how we tap into the expatriate Sri Lankan community out there who are fairly well networked but probably who don't have enough confidence to quite come in. And I think that this is something which your business council should pay more attention to, and the Foreign Ministry is very happy to partner in this.
On Monday, the United States emphasized on key highlights of the much scrutinized proposed Millennium Challenge Cooperation Compact, which is composed of 2 projects, a transport project and a land project. Yesterday, US Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Lena Teplitz, responded to some of the heavy criticism leveled against the United States regarding this deal.
So the compact that you have been reading about in the media, a gift, not a loan. The governments of Sri Lanka and the United States collaboratively developed the proposed agreement. Under this agreement, Sri Lanka will retain oversight and control of all aspects of the proposed projects. The United States will not own, control, or in any way administer any land under this agreement. The land administration portion of this program has attracted much attention, perhaps much more than the transport component, even though the dollar value of this program is much less. But what's in it for me, for the government and the people, and for businesses, is to develop a more dynamic land market, as well as a clearer picture of the value of those lands. And U.S. taxpayers, by extension, will also know that. Transparency and accountability are good for business and good for individuals. Some of the misinformation and disinformation in the media has suggested the United States is going to own a bunch of land at the end of this project, that actually our $480 million is a big down payment. Well, that simply is not true. From the American perspective, a thriving, growing Sri Lanka will be a more dynamic market for U.S. goods and services. We are, after all, already Sri Lanka's largest trading partner and #1 export destination.
And now to bring you a market update, shares fell for a second straight session today, dragged down by banking and telecommunication shares. The all-share price index closed 0.28% down at 5,935.34. The market turnover was 1.1 billion rupees, nearly twice this year's daily average of 638.9 million rupees. Foreign investors sold a net 361.1 million rupees worth of shares today. We now have Nisansala Kurupumudali from First Capital Holdings with a brief report on today's market performance.
In the bond market, the yield curve shifted slightly downwards while overall market witnessed moderate volumes. At the primary bill auction held today, yields of 1-year, 6-month and 1-year declined by 4, 2 and 17 basis points to record at 7.85, 7.94 and 8.21 respectively. In the equity market, both ended in red for the second straight session, dragging the index down by 0.28%, primarily driven by 2 major banks, namely Sampath and HMB. A net foreign outflow, primarily led by Tile, was recorded amidst moderate foreign participation.
And now for a currency update. The Sri Lankan rupee ended weaker due to imported dollar demand at 176 rupees and 30 to 45 cents against the US dollar today. Let's now take a look at how the Sri Lankan rupee traded against other major currencies around the world. We take a look at what's happening around the world on the other side of this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching First at 9. Now, South Korea says that the North has fired 2 short-range ballistic missiles off its east coast, the second such launch in a week. The 2 missiles were launched from the area of Wonsan early on today. Last week's launch was the first such action since US President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un met in June. The North called the launch a solemn warning to Seoul over its planned military exercise with Washington. It has previously expressed anger that the annual drills will go ahead next month, with the event seen as preparation for war. Now, Minister of Sports Harin Fernando is currently in India, with media reports emerging that he is set to have discussions with the chairman of the International Cricket Council. Reportedly, the minister is set to seek approval from the ICC chief to appoint an interim committee to run Sri Lanka cricket. In the meantime, while addressing a function in Colombo yesterday, the Minister of Sports took aim at Sri Lanka's cricket coach for being on an exorbitant salary. The minister cast doubt on the fact whether the coach's performance justifies the salary. We didn't attempt to remove the coaches. What we said was, if the coach is paid a salary to the tune of $40,000, which is around 7.9 million in Sri Lankan rupees, and a sum not to be scoffed at, there should be a return on investment. A coach who earns 7.9 million rupees a month cannot have a win percentage of 35. Therefore, he too should be paid like players, where remuneration is hiked for wins. Losses don't have to be remunerated. There is a law within the country and cannot veer from that, saying it's the money of the ICC and not public money. That is why we ask them to suspend the contracts and renegotiate them to get on the right track. If they cannot, they can leave. Some of the best coaches have sent in their applications, and the biggest salary demand among them is $25,000. And that's it from all of us here at First at 9. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.